50, and today I have with me Karen Mooney. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Kerry.
Hi. And Karen, now you actually set up and you run one of I guess one of the longest established dating agencies in the UK called Sarah Eden, don't you?
Absolutely, yes.
And I understand you also work with the Association of British Introduction Agencies, so you wear two hats really, which is why we've invited you along today.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be invited.
And I mean, obviously, with us up to 50, we have an awful lot of ladies who find themselves in their 50s or even their early 60s suddenly single, either through divorce or through sort of bereavement even. And many of the questions that we get through on our website are, is it too late to start dating? Now, how easy is it to start dating over 50 and actually meet somebody?
It's certainly not too late. I mean, 50 nowadays is the old 30. When I first started out in the industry 25 plus years ago, it was very difficult for ladies over the age of 45. But now we take ladies well into their 60s. And it's never too late to start dating, of course not. But it's different. You just have to bear in mind that it's different when you're in your 50s as opposed to when you're in your 20s when you're dating.
So what would you say are the main differences then?
Um, when you're older, you're over 50, you've built up more, you have more life experience, so you tend to want to be more fussy, if you like. You really need to go into finding a partner with your head on, and not rose tinted glasses.
Right.
Because you want to find somebody you're going to enter your dottage with, as it were.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody who, perhaps, if you're very financially secure, you don't want somebody who's not, and who is perhaps attracted to you because of your money.
Yes, I mean, and I know we have horror stories, don't we, that we see in the press where people, do meet people online, and for whatever strange reason, they suddenly send thousands of pounds to a bank account abroad.
I answer questions all the time with my Association of British Introduction Agencies hat on here as press officer. People, women particularly, they might go online and they can be quite lonely and really switched on in other ways. When it comes to romance and somebody flattering them, their mind goes. And I know there was a case recently where this lady fell in love with this guy online. He was an American army officer, really, really attractive man, and he gave these sob stories about his daughter being ill and everything. And she gave him £30,000. And of course, it wasn't him. It was a chap in Nigeria, and it was just a con. So really, you have to go into it with your eyes open.
Yeah, and also, think with your head first, as you said. So, yeah, that's excellent advice, really. But people say, well, at this age, I mean, they seem to feel all the good men are already taken.
Absolutely. Certainly, my business, Sarah Eden, we have lots and lots of fantastic men. You have to be careful because online sometimes you can meet people who perhaps aren't serious, but also a lot of the men we tend to attract are businessmen, professionals, and they don't want to hang around in bars or necessarily go online, so they'll come to an agency.
And are they mostly looking for women of their own age? Or the perception seems to be that if there's a man, say, in his 50s or mid-50s, he'd be looking for a woman who's considerably younger. And that the women in their 50s should be perhaps only have the option of going out with men who are in their 60s or older. I mean, is that actually the truth of the matter, or is that sort of a misconception?
It depends. I mean, you do certainly get men who want younger women and try to saying they're 50 and they want a family, so they've got ladies in the 30s. But generally, we say you should go a few years each way. And women have much longer shelf life nowadays than they used to have. We look after ourselves better. And I'm forever amazed. Some women in the 50s and 60s look younger than some women in the 40s and 30s.
Yeah.
Because they've looked after themselves. So really, it depends on how you've looked after yourself and your outlook.
Yeah. And do you think it's how you look that really counts, or is it really how you present yourself or your outlook that's more important than looks when it comes to meeting somebody through an agency environment?
I think your outlook is important, but men are more visual than women. There's no getting away from it. I always say I can sell a 5-foot successful man to a woman if he's got charisma, funny and everything, but I can't sell I can't do the opposite. I can't do the opposite thing, if that makes sense.
Right, okay. I mean, do you think these also, I mean, we need to have realistic expectations if we go on, no, if we're starting to date later in life, about the sort of person that we should be able to meet or expect to meet, to spend, you know, the next years of our lives with?
I think it depends. I mean, you have to have realistic expectations. You know, so if I see somebody and perhaps they, you know, they've got a face like a frog and they want to attract George Clooney, it's not going to happen. But you know, if you have realistic expectations, it's like for life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
And the same for men as well.
nobody's got George Clooney yet, though, have they?
Sorry?
Nobody's been able to pin George Clooney down yet. So,
Oh, they have? Oh,
no.
I think he's an eternal bachelor.
Right. So you say they have to have realistic expectations, that in terms of age, looks, lifestyle. What sort of expectations should people really be considering?
You need to find somebody who's got similar values to you, want similar things in the future, similar lifestyle, and you know, so say, how do you see yourself in 3 years' time? Do you want to be, you know, do you want to remarry? Do you want to settle down? You don't have to be like this and that, but you have to be similar.
Right. Okay. Well, I think let's leave it there for today then, Karen. That's been absolutely terrific. And I know we've got another session now, haven't we? Where we're going to talk about the routes to meeting somebody. So that's what we're going to be covering in our next session. So hopefully people will tune in for that one as well. But thank you for coming today, and look forward to talking to you next week.
Fantastic. Speak to you then.